All right, our man Luke, new LSU Tiger. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Man, blessed. Especially anytime we have a guest from Louisiana State University. Man, before we get into your story, before we get into anything LSU, man. I just want to ask a question for a couple of icebreakers real quick. I was in Tuscaloosa yesterday with my daughter. We were watching the soccer game. Huge Memphis fan. What's your favorite spot to eat? Because we were looking around trying to find the best spot. If you would have gave me a spot, what would it have been?
Spot. I mean, breakfast. Just Loves Breakfast was pretty good there, but I'm blanking. I love the pizza place downtown, Glory, Glory Bound. I think it is. That's a pretty good place.
Yeah, I think the problem for us was because it was Sunday, a lot of the places were closed. So that is unfortunate. The other question I got for you, man, it was weird for me. It was cool after like I read up on it and got the context on it. But the first time you saw there was a massive cemetery across from the football stadium, what was your thought?
Oh, I didn't really put not much thought into it, but it was like a weird place to put it. But I don't really think much about it. But.
I got you. And then I got a fun one before I turn you over and let Daniel do your story, man. People always like to know the answer to this question as a fun one, man. Say you had to do karaoke and the friends wanted to hear you. What song do you feel most comfortable getting up on stage and doing karaoke?
Karaoke. Probably a country song, something like that. Definitely any Morgan Wallen song, I would feel like.
Oh, not Morgan Wallen. That's Daniel's least
It's
favorite
the
guy.
easiest one. Everyone knows them. It's the easiest one to sing. So probably
I'm
those
a,
songs.
Luke, I'm gonna be honest. Outside of Luke, he could Morgan Wallen could be sitting right next to me, and I wouldn't even know who that dude is.
But he just got a haircut, so you probably wouldn't
Well,
recognize.
I mean,
But
even if he didn't, even if he, looked exactly how he did on that album that he just dropped with 72 songs that take 10 hours to listen to, like I still wouldn't know who he was. I don't know. I just don't understand the infatuation. But I'm not a country music guy either, so that's probably a lot to
I
do with it.
kind of when I got into country, he's kind of my first guy I listened to, so that's probably a big reason. But
Gotcha. All right, Luke, let's jump into your story, man. Obviously, we got to start at the beginning. So tell me a little bit about your hometown. Where are you from?
Reading, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour south of Philly, and it's pretty nice. Sinking Spring, exactly where I'm from, but it's like 10 minutes from the AA Philly Stadium. So play there a lot in high school.
Nice, nice. I'm down here in Tampa, not too far from the Phillies spring training location. So
Yeah,
a lot of Phillies folks down here. They become snowbirds down here. They want to get away from that weather.
yeah,
Live in the
definitely.
Northeast. But tell me a little bit about growing up with your family. Obviously, you had a father that played baseball at Jacksonville State before being drafted by the Phillies. He spent 8 years in the organization. You got a sister that plays softball collegiately at Covenant College in Georgia. But outside of dad and sister, you got mom in the picture, brother, any other brothers or sisters?
Yeah, my mom actually lives in Florida, so I'm down there sometimes in the winter, summer, and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
mostly north, but I grew up Reading. My dad was originally from Alabama, so we made a lot of trips to Alabama, and that kind of out of high school kind of pushed me toward there. But out of high school, I was really looking at LSU was like I was really thinking about coming to LSU, and then some things happened, and I went to Alabama. But
Well, we're definitely gonna unpack that whole decision, and we're definitely gonna get into Alabama and talk about that. But prior to that, when I think about your dad and having the ability to have a big league career or even being a big league player, I think to myself and go, well, Luke probably, as early as he could walk, he probably was picking up a baseball or swinging a bat or had a glove in his hand. Like, at what age do you start playing baseball?
as soon as I could walk, I'd say, not baseball, but just swinging stuff, throwing stuff, and my dad, if he's going to push baseball onto me, but also he let me play other sports and get athletic in all the other sports. And as I got older, I got the most out of baseball because I had someone with me day in and day out, just talking over the basics and just, helping me out a lot. So it was nice.
So as develop, you get to high school. Once you get to high school, are you playing multiple sports, or is baseball the only sport that you're playing at the time?
That's when I kind of just went straight into baseball because I know, I think out of middle school, that kind of summer going into ninth grade is when I kind of realized like I made a, switch and I was like, man, I'm getting good at baseball. So let's kind of work on it and get better. And then I actually senior year I ended up playing basketball just
Okay.
just to play. But yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Wilson High School.
Wilson. Seems fitting for a baseball player to go to a high school named Wilson.
I went to
Just-
Rawlings.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
makes sense. But
Yeah.
Luke, man, you were rated the number 3 overall player in Pennsylvania and the state's number 2 right-handed pitcher, according to Prep Baseball Report. Baseball America, you were 5th ranked prospect from the state of Pennsylvania in the 2021 baseball draft. You finished your senior season with a 7-1 record and 1 save with a .88 ERA with 55 innings pitched and 113 Ks. And that was just your senior year. We don't have enough time on the show to list how successful you actually were in high school because it's like reading a 20 chapter book. There's a lot to unpack, but just how much fun did you have in high school playing baseball?
I had fun. It's not just playing the game, but like I'd play with a great group of guys and growing up since we were kids and I know them forever. So when you play with a bunch of fun guys, it makes the sport even more fun. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, we have this discussion with all the guys that we have on when it comes to baseball and the difference between high school and travel ball. Obviously, most guys your caliber are playing some type of travel ball. Am I correct?
yeah.
So, who did you play travel ball for?
I played for my dad when I was younger. And then when I got up to like probably high school, late high school, I kind of went to, showcases. I played for East Cobb a little bit. And, I just mostly went to showcases for the draft and everything like that.
I got you. So between high school and travel ball, like at what point do you go, man, I can play at the next level, and then at what point do the college offers start rolling in?
Definitely 10th grade, summer after 10th grade is when it started because I went to some showcases. I started throwing harder, I would say, after 10th grade. I finally was getting stronger as well. And I've always had the off speed and stuff like that. So when the velo came, you get offers, stuff like that. And then I really had a good curveball. So that kind of was the outlier on some colleges reaching out to me. So about that time, I thought, hey, let's keep getting better and good things will come.
All right. So then once all that, starts panning out, how does Alabama become the choice?
Um, Probably I wanted to go south and play south, so I was looking at a lot of south schools, and I don't know. I went there. I didn't really think much of Alabama baseball, so I was always a big Alabama football fan when I grew up. So I kind of played a part in it, going to the football games, stuff like that.
So one of the questions I was going to ask right off the top was what the culture shock was like from Pennsylvania to Tuscaloosa, but you talked about traveling down there a lot, and then you just sit there and talked about the football game. So was there much of a culture shock for you coming from the north to the south?
Um, Not really. I mean, Alabama is more south, but a lot of northern people I think go to Alabama, so it's kind of like not all southern down there and stuff like that. But it was mostly the shock was just playing in college baseball. The difference between high school and college is such a big jump, and that whole transitioning is probably the biggest shock there.
Yeah, and so let's go right into that, man. First season you come out the bullpen with 15 appearances. Some ups and downs, but man, talk about what you learn in that freshman season and that jump, because that's always the biggest thing we get from guys is that, because we can talk about how good travel ball might have been, we could talk about how good your high school competition might have been, but it doesn't match what you're going to see in Division One, especially in the SEC.
Yeah, it's experience. I think a lot of older guys definitely. When you come in, you think, hey, you're gonna be good, but you're not, and you're still got the stuff and stuff. But the experience is probably the biggest thing I like had, and some older guys kind of took me under their wing, helped me get better, and just getting bigger and stronger in the mind like you grow and stuff like that. But it's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and going into your sophomore season, and that's the thing, everything you just said. So you get nutrition, you get weight room, you get
Yeah.
experience, you get all those things. And that's why a lot of times, I mean, obviously guys have big time freshman years, but for most guys, you'll see that jump from freshman to sophomore year, and you fall in that category because you've gotten acclimated in every single way. And so you went 7-4, 3.67 ERA with 87 Ks as a member of the weekend rotation. Man, the first thing I got to talk to you about, because I didn't watch the game, dude, you had 5 innings of no hit against Samford with 12 Ks. Dude, talk to me about what it's like having a no hitter and you exit the game.
Only had 65 pitches that game, but I was on a pitch count, so at 65 I could have kept going, but they want to take me out for pitch count reasons. But yeah, I felt good. I just the year before, which that was my third start. Right before the year, I picked up a slider, and that became one of my best pitches this year. And it's going to get even better working on the off season stuff like that. But that really that game was like this slider's going to help me a lot this year, definitely.
Daniel, are you coming off the mound with a no hitter, man?
Absolutely not. They're
Yeah,
gonna have to like
everyone was mad. I got that.
drag me off that thing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, and I'm sure, it's Sanford games in hand. It's so all the different dynamics. Like you said, you're on a pitch count. It's early in the season. It's Sanford, it's different dynamics. 12 Ks. I'm thinking 5 innings. I'm thinking you could probably no hit this thing and end up with 15 to 20 ish. Man, that'd be a game for the ages. But let's talk about a game where it wasn't that scenario. What I thought was your best game per my, looking at the stat line, was against Vandy, man. And we don't like Vandy on this show, so we love the idea that you did that. 7 innings, allowing 2 runs. You had 7 Ks. Talk to me. That's a top 10 team playing Vanderbilt, going in there having that kind of success.
Yeah, it was the weekend we got swept by LSU, and then went and we had to turn things around, so we kind of got together and was like, hey, I got to go out there and pitch hard for my teammates, and hopefully they put runs on the board, and they did that. So,
You talking about getting swept by LSU, we talk about Vanderbilt. There was a lot of ups and downs, but let me ask you, for Alabama, we had a lot of discussion on the show. We do a lot of breaking down of college baseball, and we really did not know what to think. There were a lot of people that were high on y'all. And obviously starting off in the top 25 expectations, what's it like, especially when you are in the SEC, having expectations like that where you're in the SEC West Gauntlet and they're expecting you to be able to accomplish these big things.
yeah, it's hard, but you got to fight through it, and every game's a battle, and it's a mindset. Who's got the tougher mindset, and midway through the season, we were I think 9-12, but it's about quitting. We didn't quit and just kept fighting. So.
Yeah, and speaking on that note, let's talk about it. Coach Bohannon is let go, and our conversation on here was how would your team respond? And I'll admit that I was wrong, dude. I honestly thought that y'all would fold. I was like, dude, their coach is leaving. The Alabama's gonna end up being a sinking ship. So, dude, I'll own it right here on the show that I was wrong, but obviously y'all didn't give me the vibe of the locker room and what guys were saying, because clearly not only did y'all not fold, but y'all ended up going on a run.
Yeah, if you knew the guys, you knew we wouldn't fold or anything. Great group of guys and a lot of older guys as well. So they've been through college a bunch of years, and they were like, hey, season's not over. We got a lot to play. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so y'all obviously put together a lot of wins, and you end up getting to host a regional, man. And and that speaks volumes to, hey, I played the stretch. So man, tip of the cap to those older guys and to yourself, man, for not hanging it up, not using the coach as an excuse, and going out there and taking care of business. And taking care of business again, in regionals, you got to pinch against Nichols in that regional. Talk to me about what it was like pitching in postseason in Sewell Thomas Stadium with that crowd being electric.
It was awesome. Yeah, they haven't hosted it in a while, so it was pretty cool. And I knew the first game was a big deal, so I tried to pitch my best. And every game matters. So going into season, like, hey, let's win one game at a time, and we did that.
What is and you may not even know this off the top of your head because it's one of the few places I went and checked it out when I was there this weekend, but obviously I couldn't get in. How many does that stadium hold?
Probably 8 to 10-ish,
So
maybe.
So y'all had a big electric crowd.
They got a big, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, so y'all take care of business in front of that crowd. Don't don't let down. Keep your foot on the gas pedal. But then you got the number one team, Luke, and we had 4 of the guys from Wake Forest on this show during the season. We actually had them pick preseason Omaha, so they actually made us right. We obviously knew the odds were stacked against y'all with just how good their pitching, how good their hitting was. I don't want to talk about losing. I don't want to hit you with the negative. Basically, I just want to keep it real, man. You got to see them up close and personal for that in their house. Obviously I saw them. I went and visited them out in Winston-Salem. Then I was in Omaha for the whole thing. Just how good was that team from your perspective?
I'd say depth is a big key word. Some teams got a couple good guys and then it kind of falls off, but their whole lineup, their pitching staff, all of them were great. So that was a team where you couldn't just hold off. You were up by a couple in the ninth. You couldn't the game wasn't over. They fought to the very end. So
what was funny is so many people spent the majority of that season talking about how good a hitting there was, but it was their pitching that was actually the scarier part.
yeah, they had a lot of guys there in the bullpen.
So when you look back on that season, do you go, man, watching what Wake Forest was able to do? Do you guys go, man, we competed with the highest level? We, moving into this next season, there's got to be a lot of um, just momentum that you have knowing, well, I was able to compete at a high level against the best of the best. Now I'm going to the defending national champions and I can, there's no fear, right? Because you're so well prepared last season as opposed to not having that experience and then going to LSU and then being like, oh man, shit, this is a little bit different. Can I do this, I guess?
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely excited. I've been here for 2 weeks and the guys are great. The whole place is awesome, staff and everything. So I'm very excited to get started.
All right, so before we get to LSU, I got to talk about USA baseball. I mean, obviously, there's a pride, feeling. And Jim and I were talking about the Little League World Series. I was like, man, I get a sense of pride just for the American Little League World Series team winning it all, much less being able to play and represent my country. So I'll ask you, what is it like, wearing the red, white, and blue and being able to represent for Team USA?
It was awesome. It was amazing. Probably the best summer I've ever had. Definitely. And you're there for 21 days. You think, oh man, that's a month in a hotel. It's long, but playing with guys you've played with or played against, it was awesome. And then wearing USA on your chest, you can't really do anything better than that.
So when you talk about playing with guys that you played with or against, what are some of the guys you built great relationships that you maybe faced, in the regular season?
I Drew Beam a lot. I hung out with him a lot, played some golf with him, and we'll face him.
He's a pretty decent guy. I can't.
What is it? What is it about Drew? That's the standard answer for all USA guys. Drew Beam is clearly, and he's a 2-time guest of the show, so we get it. But everybody loves Drew Beam.
Yeah, man, he's easy to hang out with. It's simple, but he's chill and yeah. But we'll face them this year, hoping to say hi and everything like that. So that'll be cool.
So last question on Team USA baseball. All right. So it's hard for me to picture like, you know, all of these guys being so good, and it's what do you learn? Like, do you learn anything there, or is it just getting the experience of being with like the best of the best?
Um, I say you're always learning wherever you go, learning every day. I mean, some guys here know a lot more than me, and I know more than some other guys. So when you kind of put a group together that know something, the other guy knows something, you can all kind of, collaborate and help each other out. So you're constantly learning and getting better. So, yeah.
So the most interesting part about you playing Team USA baseball is your name is in the portal, and the Twitterverse is going, nuts. They like want to know where you're going, and they have to wait because you prioritize, wearing that red, white, and blue, which just makes it that much greater because they're going to have to wait whether they like it or not. And obviously a lot of speculation. My question for you is, how much is that being talked about while you're playing USA, or are you just completely focused on USA and you'll take care of that when it's over?
That's what I said. I was talking with some teams, and I said I'm trying to focus on USA first, and after USA, I'll talk to as many people like as long as you guys want me to. So I was just really focused on USA a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, people were asking me, what I thought. Obviously, like I said, we interview so many players, we cover college baseball. They asked me, what I thought it was going to take for LSU to get back to Omaha, and I said, well, Jay's obviously killing the portal. We got guys coming back. We didn't even think we're probably coming back. Obviously, a stud freshman class coming in, and you can check, man. Daniel will tell you. Man, I said, I think the key is we got to get Luke Holman to solidify that weekend staff and that depth. And so, man, when I saw that you did, I actually predicted you did without having any kind of inside info. I just said, I gut feeling Luke's coming here. So, ultimately, what was it that made you choose LSU?
Definitely after the visits, I didn't really pick a team until after I visited, and when I came down here talking to Jay, and he's been like, as soon as I hit the portal, he was all over me, and he liked me a lot. So, but I came down here, I visited, and it felt like home. I would say, it's just, yeah.
And that's the best way to do it. It seems to be the common answer. We had Tommy White and Paul Skeens among other guys last year who said the same thing. And obviously, being an LSU fan, family from Louisiana, Louisiana does a good job of that. Baton Rouge does a good job of just making you feel home, real family feel. And so, that's a niche that we got. It's not even just winning, a winning culture, but yeah, we have that home family feel, and we use it to our advantage. Obviously, bringing in big time guys like you. So, the question that I was asked, I put a question out there for people wanted me to ask you of the LSU fan base. They wanted to know how difficult it is, and it may not be difficult at all, but being that you played for Alabama and you are an SEC West rival, how hard is it going to a school, that you've been competing against, and not hated per se, but like, I mean, you obviously, have been competing and had a kind of some sort of a dislike in a way.
I wouldn't say it's hard at all. I mean, things happen, and yeah, I would say that. But
I looked because we were discussing has a Bama player transferred to LSU, and obviously the transfer portal's only been around for so long, and obviously you had before where you could set a year, but I couldn't find it. I think you possibly could be the first guy in baseball. So set new things. Now let's get a second championship on it, and we'll really we'll throw
yeah,
some shade at Bama.
yeah, that would be the best thing
So
ever.
hey, something I wasn't going to ask you, but you brought it up, so it's got me thinking. You said you're a huge Bama football fan. Is that going to be a conflict for you?
No, not at all. But you know, I'm kind of like the guy who like roots for players in NFL. If I get a fantasy guy, I start rooting for them. So it's going to be easy to start rooting for LSU football now.
There you go. That, or you're going to have to get a half and half jersey and walk in there. but
Yeah.
but looking at the pitching depth, man, our last episode was obviously Griffin Herring and Gavin Guidry, but man, when you talk about Hurd, Jump, Nasty Nate, Lauer, Coleman, man, I could do this all day listing names. You sat there and talked about that earlier when you were talking about Wake. Man, depth is a big deal, and pitching is what I firmly believe. People could talk about bats all day, but I believe pitching is the key to championships. So just how excited are you to be a part of a rotation and a team that has so much depth like this in its arsenal and the pen and everything?
I'm excited. I played against them. I saw them throw, but now I get to actually, work with them, talk with them, and hang out with them. So I'm very excited.
All right, last question, and then I'll let Daniel play a game with you, and we'll let you get out of here being late. This one's not baseball related, but you said you've been there 2 weeks, and I was hoping that you would say that you had been there, so I could already ask this question. Man, are you already getting into the Cajun food? Have you been introduced to the Blue Store chicken yet? Tell me what you got going on. Tell me you're eating good already.
Blue Store Chicken is probably 5 minutes down the road, but Cade Woods, who's from Bama as well, and then transferred here. He's originally from Louisiana, so he'd cook a lot of Louisiana food and stuff like that. So he kind of introduced me and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
if you're wanting to put on some weight, make eat you a lot of that Cajun food, but make sure you hit in the weight room, turn it into the right way with the protein. Hey man, you bulk up in no time.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So.
Get it. You know how you bulk up? With a nice pack of these Chinook Cedary original, or flavors from mild to wild, man.
Yeah, USA. USA. That's all they had there.
Yeah, Drew Beam and Hagen Smith, guests of this show, Daniel. They're two of the biggest ambassadors. So I know he got a hold of some of the Chinook seeds.
Best seeds ever, and with that, this or that is brought to you by Chinook Seedery. If you want the best craft seeds with the best flavors from mild to wild, go and get you a pack of the Chinook Seedery. Any flavor. I mean, Jim, what's your favorite?
I'm an OG original guy, but most when I bring every flavor with me to a stadium, the Parmesan man is what gets people going.
I mean, how could you not like it? I mean, or you could. What some people do is they like to do a little double dip, mix a little parm with a little original.
No, the newest thing, the cinnamon toast, Daniel, folks been putting in their coffee, bro.
Ooh, son, yeah. Let's go. But with that, this or that, it's an easy game, Luke, man. We play it with everybody. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. You down to play?
I'm down to play, yeah.
All right, let's do it, man. So first question, sausage or bacon?
Bacon. Easy.
Yeah, that's the only answer.
Yeah.
When you walk in the door and someone's cooking bacon, as opposed to you walking in the door, someone's cooking sausage, you can always turn down the sausage. You might not, but you could always turn it down. But you're never going to turn down bacon.
Need the bacon.
Yeah,
Need to get that.
For sure. All right, tougher environment to play in: Baum Walker or Bluebell Park?
Maybe Baum Walker, I would say.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, I think for us that would be our
Daniel, I put that on there because pitchers have said Bluebell could really get to you.
Yeah, they're pretty jerky there. So we hear. All right, Luke. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation. Ever since I was a kid, I was PlayStation all the time. So.
What's your favorite game?
My favorite game, I played Madden. I'm a big Madden guy for some reason. I never played MLB The Show. Like I never.
All right. Well, I'm going to be in Baton Rouge plenty, whether it's the fall, the spring, or anything in between. Catch me on them sticks whenever you're ready, Luke.
Awesome. I'm ready whenever. Yeah.
He plays with the Cowboys, the greatest football team on earth.
And I'm not I actually hate the Cowboys, but yet that's my team on Madden. Make sense.
Yeah. But actually, on Madden 20, I used to use the Cowboys too. So.
I almost was like, no, Jim, you cannot use the Cowboys.
I've been dicing up with Tony Pollard, bro. It's my guy. He's a Memphis guy, dude.
All right, so when it comes to uniforms, obviously you're wearing some different colors this year. What colors are you looking forward to wearing the most? Purple or gold?
Ooh. I like that purple. I do love the purple.
That was one of the funniest Twitter debates that happened after last episode. Griffin says purple, and Gavin like about loses his mind because he's like, "How can you not go golds?" Which then spawned to people arguing about it on Twitter. And it's like, clearly, I mean, it's like a 50-50 thing between the LSU fan base.
I mean, both is awesome, but I'd say I like purple a lot. So,
All right. If you were left on an island with either your worst enemy or no one, which would you choose?
ooh,
You can
I
be
don't really
with
have
someone, it'll be your worst enemy, or you can be alone.
probably alone.
Yeah, that's me for
I would
sure.
say I'm a loner, so hanging out
Let me-
alone.
Just let me fly solo.
Don't get stuck on an island with Griffin Herring because my man said he wouldn't want to be alone because if he got desperate, he'd eat the other person. And the look on Gavin's face was special.
Yeah, that's
So your new teammate, watch out, he's a cannibal.
I will. You know.
All right. Would you rather own a massive yacht or a private jet?
I'd say jet. Go anywhere. The yachts take so long to get anywhere. So jet, your own jet, and you can go wherever you want. So
Nice. Yeah, that's how I feel. Jim is more of a yacht guy. I'm more of a jet guy.
But I feel like there's no wrong answer. That's the beauty of that question.
yeah,
Like,
there's no wrong answers there. But
Would you rather spend an hour in a walk-in freezer or 2 hours in a sauna?
oh, sauna. I hate being cold. Even though I'm up north, I just hate being cold.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
You're feeling 2 hours in that sauna right now in Baton Rouge. I know that.
Yeah, it's hot here. It's very hot. So.
All right, last question, and then we'll let you bounce. Would you rather win $1 million or win a national championship?
National championship. There's no other option there.
Yeah, there is. That's why I gave you two options. Win $1 million.
National championship. I don't know who wouldn't take.
Well,
that.
it was.
I wouldn't.
It was easy for Gavin to say, if you put $1 million in a bag in front of me and put my ring in front of me, I'd take the ring. And it's like, yeah, the $1 million in the bag isn't there in this scenario, brother.
Right.
No one's taking a national championship.
I mean, if the trophy and the banner and the ring were there and right in front of you, and then so was a suitcase full of $1 million of crisp $100 bills, I feel like everyone on planet Earth would take that suitcase.
But
just
that's the ring though, Daniel. Is obviously you've seen the clips. I was behind home plate directly for LSU to win that championship, and I saw them boys dogpile, and I saw the emotions running through them. And that moment is not worth any price.
I'd say the memories over the ring and stuff, definitely. But memories come with the national championship.
Well, hopefully for you, Luke, you win a national championship this year, and then you get drafted at a high value to where it's over $1 million, and you get both, brother.
Exactly.
Get it all. Get everything, and don't look back. Get your money, get your ring, get it all. Get it all.
Sir.
All right, Luke, man, before you go, anything you want to plug or promote?
I don't have anything to promote, but thank y'all for letting me get on here and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I'll help you out though. If you want to know what Luke is up to on a Monday night, maybe he's recording a podcast, or on a Tuesday, maybe it's Taco Tuesday and he's having some, a couple little tacos here and there. Going over to IG, Big Money H35, or if you want to follow him throughout the season with the LSU Tigers, going over to IG at LSU Baseball. Luke, man, we wish you nothing but the best. There's a lot of big expectations on you. Just go do your thing. Hopefully you guys have a magical season again. You stay healthy and you're able to contribute at a high level for those guys.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. That's Luke Holman, everybody. If you like hearing Luke's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. And I don't even have to say any of this.
I was trying to figure out why you're doing that. We are like he got thrown. Remember when I told you, Luke, we had already done the outro?
It's habit, man.
I was trying to figure out what he was doing.
It's when you've done 300 episodes and you go right into an intro.
Yeah, you're Luke. Hey, man, you have set a new thing, man. We've never done it out of order like that. So he's a programmed robot. He's never had to do that before,
Yeah.
and he's just messed up. But man, hey, I'm glad we were able to make it work late, man. And don't sweat it. It's all good. And
That's my bad. I just, had some stuff to do, but shouldn't have. Probably forgot about it, and I shouldn't have. I should remember it earlier.
it's all good, bro. But you'll be seeing me down there come fall ball. I'm always wearing my LSU in off the bench shirt, so you won't be able to miss me. I look forward to meeting you, brother.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. Later.
Talk to you soon.